So we have an opportunity here to actually hit a large portion of the market. Don't let the hype win. Come be the voice of reason that's like, sure, buyers are going to want to be represented. There's big talk right now. There's so much big talk in the real estate world, and there are people following the news, and those people are our buyers and sellers. Two things, and we'll talk about another one later this week, but today what we're going to talk about is this big thing that came out that said NAR is going to allow $0. People have gone up in arms. They're like, oh my God, buyer's agency is going to have to stop. None of us are getting paid. Just totally flipping out. Like, people are going to have to leave the industry. Like, the sky is falling. But guys, it changed from $0 to, or from $1 to $0. This is clickbait, right? It has always been by NAR that we could put $1 in there. Like, it's hype. It's literal hype. Like, because last week it was $1 and this week it's $0. Like, are y'all hearing that? So truly nothing has changed except for our job to have an answer for when someone says, well, it says I can pay the buyer's agent $0. What is an answer? Victoria just gave us one. What is an answer when you're at the listing appointment and the listing agent says, well, I heard we can pay the buyer's agent $0. How do you respond? This is truly our job. I think maybe we have fallen into just an ease of expectation. Well, of course I'm getting paid. Like, of course you're going to get paid, guys. Like, I don't think anyone's going to go into this and go, yep, you're right. I'm going to take 4%, just me. We're not paying any buyer's agents, because I know a lot of y'all have rules against dual agency. This literally is just a minute switch that has blown up to be a big deal. It's not a big deal. You guys, if we have listings, we're going to leverage them. You're going to say it's your listing appointment. So we have an opportunity here to actually hit a large portion of the market by offering a commission to the buyer's agents. We could not, and legally, they're not allowed to not show your home. In reality, unless they're really good and negotiated with their buyer to get paid in some way, then they're not going to come to our home. Hey, I'm Robin Mann, and I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been in the business 8.5 years, and I do about 25 million as a solo agent, and that translates to around 60 deals or so. I've closed a home a week every week since 2016, and no paid ads, all organic networking via door knocking, Facebook. Those are the big ones. Referrals. If you have a listing agent, if you are a listing agent, or if you have a listing, you can rock. This is marketing heaven.
Yeah.
We're offering 3%. But I do, what's funny is I don't think we can even say that because we're not allowed to say commissions, right? We could say that there is a buyer's agency being offered. And then also in MLS, you can say your amount, right?
Right.
And if it does start turning out where people are going to be like, oh, I'm doing none, or I'm doing $1, like, people are not going to show that home. They say that that they're going to hold to their ethics. We're going to talk about that because that's a whole
I was just going to say that's a whole nother conversation.
There's a whole nother conversation. We'll talk about that tomorrow. A whole nother conversation about ethics and what's happening with that. But this one, I believe our job right now as an industry, and I would hope you guys would go out and share this with your brokerages, with your friends, do a video on it today. Like, talk about it. Don't let the hype win. Come be the voice of reason that's like, sure, just like Michael said, you can offer 0%. Yeah. And you're going to get not a lot of buyers. Buyers are going to want to be represented. I think that's the whole reason buyer's agency came into play in the first place. They were like, you know what? This isn't fair. This is exactly the history. Like, we're reversing history, which is so silly. We got buyer's agents because the buyers said, hey, we want to be represented. And Michael's right. It is filtered into their sales price. Like, it's already there. So in quote unquote, the seller's paying it, but are they really? Like, break that down. Are they really selling it? Because I don't think they are. Are they really paying it? They're taking it out of their net. Now, I personally, you guys know, had a woman the other week that she wouldn't show my home because it was 2.5%. And she told her people they were going to have to make up the difference. And her people said no, right? They're like, nope, we're not paying 0.5%. That's going to happen a lot. Or it's not, and they're just going to accept whatever you offer. So I do think the opportunity for buyer's agency to prove their worth, to prove their value, You're not just Vanna White opening doors or Pat for the men on the call. You have value. What can you offer them that they can't find on Zillow? That is where you can lean in as a buyer's agent. And oh my gosh, guys, video it. Here's what I do for a buyer. I take the call. I get these answers. Then I go on to MLS. I do some searches. I speak to builders. I speak to colleagues. I'm in a brokerage or my office has exclusive listings that we share with one another. Those are things that you can offer. When you have a for sale by owner, how do you talk them into paying the buyer's agent? This is also an opportunity for everyone to lean in to negotiating skills. Go take a class. I'll offer one. Let's take a class. Let's take a course. Because if you're constantly a buyer's agent, you're constantly getting 1% or $1, and you've got to have that conversation with your buyer, or you've got to have that conversation with the listing agent, and you don't know how to negotiate well. Negotiating doesn't have to be mean. No, negotiating can be collegial. So this is an awesome opportunity to lean in and say, how do I get what I want? How do I get what I need? Who thinks that if you've done 20 deals this year and you got $1 commission on them, you're either going to quit or you're going to learn how to negotiate, right?
Right.
So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to get creative. How do you help your buyers pay for you? What are some ways? Put it in the buyer's agency contract or write it into the OTP? Or what's a way that a buyer can do it that has no money? You all know this. If they need money for a down payment, what do you ask for when you write an offer?
Seller assist.
Closing costs, seller assist. That's another opportunity. If they're only offering this and they can afford, let's say they can afford a $400,000 house, but this one's only $375,000, and you've got them under contract on that, fold in the closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's some legal, just make sure it fits within the lending guidelines, or there might be some legal things that we have to look through, but it is a potential option. I saw a lady yesterday, she was calling it peanuts. She's like, if I get 2 peanuts for this and I get 3 peanuts for that. So she's talking commission, but she's using code. I was like, we can do that. We can talk commission with peanuts. Oh, we're free. Buyer's agents are free. The seller pays for me. Like, people have said that forever, right? At a listing appointment, how much are we paying this? How much are we paying that? And then with the buyer's agent, if you say, here's my fee, and the sellers typically pay this much of it, that's a great thing. Here's what happened, guys. It used to be that we paid buyer's agents nothing, and people got no representation. So it's time to prove your value. What do you offer? I know the area. I know how to negotiate. I know colleagues. I know the process. I know how to walk you through it. Do you want to be represented where the only person on the table is this other professional that's competing against you? Do you want to compete against me? Because I'm going to be the listing agent. I wouldn't want to compete against me if I were just a normal person out in the world in a real estate transaction, So how do we share that in a positive way? I think there's so much opportunity for us to flip this instead of the sky is falling to, yay, this is what I'm worth. This is what I can do. I'm so excited that our value has been brought to light. So instead of, yes, you can pay me $0, but I think you might be wanting to pay me, $100,000 because I'm worth it. I don't know. I think there's so much positive that you could go with. The way we end the call every time is we give a high five. Thanks for being here. If you have questions, you can find me on all the socials. My phone number is on all the things. You can text me. You can book a call with me on Calendly, and I'll see you tomorrow. So have a great one. Thanks for being here. I hope this helps you in some way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.